got a chance to see Naked Gun 2025 starring Liam Neeson. Let's talk about it right now. Time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to jump into this. I know I'm a little bit behind because I was out of town for Gen Con doing a run-through or a playthrough with my game that I did with Mark Spears. He's an amazing artist, and it's called Mythlord's Classic Monsters. And you're about to close up the late pledge on that on GameFound. But yeah, that's where I was. And yes, I did get a haircut as well just today because I'm about to go back on set, another Tubi movie that we're doing. I'm starting Monday. So again, I'm going to be dropping off doing continuous stuff. But I want to see some films before then. So hopefully this weekend I'm going to be able to jump into some new stuff. But anyway, let's talk about Naked Gun. I wasn't very excited to see this movie anyway because I love the original stuff. And about 6 months ago, I went back and watched the last, I think it was 2.5 or whatever else. And, some of that stuff is very memorable and some of it just isn't. But Leslie Nielsen's always fun to watch. And he can pull off stuff that I don't think many other actors or comedians can. Even to this day. I mean, he's missed for sure because he was able to do a certain type of comedy that I guess they're trying to bring back with this. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat that Liam Neeson is not Leslie Nielsen. He's just not. And again, I was going to skip it because, I'm kind of over these reboots and everything like that. But everybody said how funny it was. And you know what? I kind of want to laugh. So, yeah, let's go see it. And so I went and was kind of excited to see it. And I can tell you that the movie really doesn't live up to the hype. As far as I'm concerned, I did laugh several times, but everybody was like, "Oh, you're going to laugh so hard that you're going to miss the next joke." And that was not the case for me at all. At all. They reused. I know this is produced by Seth MacFarlane. And it is written by Akiva Schaffer, who is the writer of he's mostly a director and writer from Saturday Night Live. Take that for what it's worth. I'm not sure that's a really great resume nowadays because Saturday Night Live is not looked on very favorably nowadays. Back in the day it was, but now I think it's kind of lost its luster. And he also, directed Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. So there's something. And he brought on all his friends that also did Rescue Rangers to write. So he wrote, and Dan Greger and Doug Mann, who also did that. And he also did My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and How I Met Your Mother, which How I Met Your Mother was pretty good. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was never anything. I don't think it went past one season. But it was basically based on a YouTube thing. So here we have Danny Houston, who plays a great villain no matter what. He's good. I mean, I liked him in Wonder Woman as well. And you have Paul Walter Hauser, who I never even heard of before Cobra Kai. And he's really blowing up. He was just in Fantastic Four. He's in this. He was in that really... I thought very good movie about the whammies. I forgot the name of the Pressure Luck. About the Pressure Luck television show, competition show, and a game show. And I thought that was that was probably my favorite movie that he was in. That he actually got to show his chops. And these other movies, it's kind of he's wasted in this one too, as far as I'm concerned. But the actual surprise here, the actual standout for me, was actually Pamela Anderson. Because there's those jokes, like the airplane jokes, like, oh, did you hear about, what happened in the closet? And somebody says, oh, no, what is it? Well, it's a room that has a door and clothes in it, but that's not important right now. There's only certain types of comedians that can carry that. And like Leslie Nielsen was great at, kind of that, lost mind kind of naivete that pulls off those kind of jokes. Liam Neeson can't do that. He can't pull. He tries to pull those jokes off, but they don't work for him. But Pamela Anderson could pull that off, and like he says, well, take a seat or take a chair or whatever, and she says, no, I have plenty of chairs at home. And then at the end of the scene, she's like, you know what? I am going to take that chair. But she is looking, I mean, she's getting up there to 60 years old, and Liam Neeson's, pushing 75 now. He's like 73 years old, and she's pushing 60. And I think that they're dating now. But you see some of these behind-the-scenes things, and she's looking without makeup or whatever. Her hair looks like it's receding. I don't know what's going on, but she looks really rough in some of that stuff. But good for him if those two are dating. I never would have thought that pairing. That is a weird pairing. But I guess if it works, it works. If they're happy, who cares? But again, it had some good scenes in it. But overall, I'd say this movie is extremely mid. You are going to get a chuckle out of it, but you're not going to remember anything that happens at all. And before we continue on, I give you my rating on it. Remember, too, to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can't subscribe, please do. Remember, too, that I'm a writer myself, and if you'd like to check out anything that I've written, you can go to Amazon.com and just type my name in, or there's a link in the description below. You'll see my 4-novel quadrilogy from my sci-fi, Destiny Aurora, that was turned into a graphic novel and a board game and an RPG. It's also on Audible. The first one is. And all my books are on Kindle, including my YA fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch, which if you love dragons and things like that, you're going to love that book. And then my new comic, which we are going to release shortly. I'm going to work on it tomorrow. This pre-production on the movie is, ate up every bit of my time. But the QR code is here. It's called Fairy Tales of Terror. We have a Psycho Cinderella. We have a murderous Captain Hook running around New York, and they're being chased down by a Tiger Lily from Neverland. It's going to be great. If you can't click on that, then there's also a link in the description below. We have over 550 people following it right now, so the campaign's going to be great. All right, so let's jump back into Naked Gun. And it borrows a lot from the previous things. Like, very little of it was original. There was a couple of jokes that I thought were original. And then he has this chase scene with somebody controlling his car, which, the auto drive thing didn't exist back with the previous Naked Gun. So that was new. But it wasn't really funny. It was more of an action scene than a funny scene. Although he kept running through, which I think would have been funnier. I think there could have been different things that he was running through, because he breaks the window and then various things come through the window. And I don't think they thought out of the box enough on that. It was very generic things that ended up coming in the car. But they used the scene with Leslie Nielsen when you can only see the silhouette of them through the tent. See, I remember certain things. See, through the tent where it looked like they were doing, sexual acts. And here the same thing. They close the windows or close the thing, and then, the guy's looking at them, with the binoculars that are doing like the heat signature. So again, the 3D stopped, and I thought that was pretty funny. But again, we'd already seen it. It wasn't thinking out of the box in the least. We've already seen the first scene was in the trailer. That was the trailer, was almost the entire first scene. And the other funny part was the O.J. Simpson scene where the guy goes, uh-uh. And again, that was in the trailer. So a lot of the stuff, we'd already seen. The guy, with his banging his head. I thought that was like one of the most original things, when he was grabbing his head and his face kept changing. But again, that was in the trailer. Almost all that stuff was in the trailer. So I don't know why they showed all. Well, I know why they showed it, because they want you to go see it. So they put, all the funny stuff up front. But yeah, I think they took a lot of the most funniest stuff and put it in the trailer. It was good to see Kevin Durand as well. He has a very, very small role. And then CCH Pounder plays their captain. As opposed to, I forgot the guy who played the original captain, who always was pretty funny. But yes, I just don't think, like, and they also did the dating montage with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson that they also did in the originals with Leslie Nielsen, and I think Priscilla Presley, right? I think it's Priscilla Presley that he was that was a romantic interest back then, and I think I liked the original one better. Here they went kind of weird with this snowman. I don't know. They brought a snowman to life, and he was on vacation with them. I don't know. It was that part was, to me, was really weird. I don't know. I was like, what is this? What are we doing here? So yeah, so I got to say that for me it was very average. Liam Neeson, I don't think, could pick up where Leslie Nielsen dropped it. Where he finished off. Maybe there's some comedian that can pull that type of, absent-minded naivete. Like the one scene that I remember from Leslie Nielsen is, of course, him having his microphone pack on when he goes to the bathroom, and they kept it going through the speakers. I thought that scene was pretty funny, and there's some other scenes that I quite remember, but overall they kind of mix together, all three of them. I don't know which goes to where, but I can tell you that all three of them are better than this one. I don't think this one holds a candle to any one of those movies. I also remember the other one with the with O.J. Simpson in the wheelchair and he gets flung. Which, of course, is a dummy. And it looks like a dummy. They use the same type of thing here where there's a dummy in one of the scenes. And it's obvious that it's a dummy. So it's worth a chuckle. If you just want to go to the movies to get a chuckle and just leave your brain at the door, which is what these movies are anyway, go and see it. But if you're looking for any kind of real thinking-out-the-box comedy that's going to stick with you, no, this movie's a forgetting. You'll forget it in like T-minus 1 day. So for me, it is another mid movie. Every movie I've seen so far has been completely mid. So I'm going to give this one a 5. Again, I didn't dislike it. I just didn't think it was great or even good. It was just fine. It's just fine. But I am going to try to go see Weapons. Everybody's kind of, blustering about that one right now. But I guess we'll see. All right. Well, that's it from me. Remember to give me a like. Give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can subscribe, please do. Share this video out there. And also, if you want to check out all my books on Amazon, just go to Amazon.com and put my name in. And definitely check out Fairy Tales of Terror on the Kickstarter right now, where you can sign up. QR code is here. There's also a link in the description below. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Have an awesome week.